Hi everyone, I'm making this video about restoring lead acid batteries. It's specifically for wheelchair owners, but the principle will also apply to vehicles or boats that also use lead acid batteries. The wheelchair components are seen as disposable, and what I mean by this is the mindset of service technician tends to be replace instead of diagnose. But with a little bit of tender loving care, the life of a power wheelchair can be extended. This also applies to what are considered to be maintenance-free batteries. They're able to be prolonged in use with some really basic maintenance. What I mean by this is when lead acid batteries are made in a factory that are supposed to be maintenance free, a little plastic screw with a rubber washer around it is inserted after the batteries are filled with either distilled water or a similar fluid. The acidity is able to chew at the plastic and break the seal, meaning the liquid in the cells is able to escape and the cells dry out. So one way of helping your wheelchair last longer is monitoring the fluid level in the batteries. To do this, there's some personal protective equipment that you will need. You'll need gloves to cover your hand, eye goggles to protect your eyes. They're called a plastic apron, the same as what would be used in a kitchen, but made out of plastic in case the acid spills or splashes, and a respirator. The process to remove your wheelchair batteries is specific to your wheelchair. You'll need to search online for the service manual detailing its steps to complete this process. If it's not done correctly, the process of removing the batteries from your wheelchair will destroy your wheelchair's electronics. It's very, very important that you follow the manufacturer's steps to remove the batteries. Also, I encourage everyone dependent on a power wheelchair to have a backup power wheelchair when your main wheelchair will require maintenance. So this is one example. When the batteries are weak, you would have a backup wheelchair to use in the intern. It's the same as getting a flat tire, or maybe like I had the joystick brake on my wheelchair about 4 years ago and it was useless. So having a backup wheelchair will keep your mobility in place while you're addressing maintenance. The tools needed to change the batteries or maintenance them are vice grips, distilled water, a voltmeter, a high-end battery charger with a reconditioning cycle, and then a socket ratchet or else wrenches or spanners to remove the battery connections. So you'll remove the plugs to check the fluid level in each cell. Then you'll top up the cells that are low with distilled water. The next step is to clean each of the caps that you removed, and then use a metal wire brush to clean the electrodes. That's where the wheelchair connects onto the battery. Then you'll hook up the batteries to the battery charger, and you'll begin the reconditioning cycle. The reconditioning cycle is likely to power up and drain your battery 4 to 5 times to get the voltage stabilized in it. Some battery chargers leave the battery flat after it completes the final conditioning cycle, so some batteries will need you to then put the battery on a charge cycle to get it back to the volts of your battery. There's going to be times when this doesn't work and the battery's too far gone. The alternative to this is to use what's called a Bedini charger. A Bedini charger is used to refurbish batteries on the inside. It's a different type of electricity than what a high-end battery charger is going to use during the reconditioning cycle. The cells will still have needed the distilled water, so that time wasn't wasted. But when the reconditioning cycle fails, this is what you're able to turn to as a last attempt to restore it. And most of the times it's going to work. There's directions online on how to assemble a Bedini charger. It takes some effort, but is well worth it. After this, either the reconditioning cycle or having completed it with the Bedini charger, replace the batteries in your wheelchair. Again, you're using the same steps as what the wheelchair manufacturer detailed in their service manual. So you'll need to mark the annual maintenance of your batteries on your calendar, whether it's on a paper calendar or your smartphone or your email calendar. If you're going to make them last longer, you need to keep checking in on them. I also suggest that you investigate if you avoid the warranty on your wheelchair if you do this yourself with the help of an able-bodied friend. Now, if all else fails, you can purchase batteries much less expensive than what are sold at mobility stores through big box stores. They're sold for a fraction of the price, partly because of quantity they sell and partly because of the shipments that come from a big box store warehouse. So you could save yourself a few $100s instead of going through a mobility store for your next set of batteries than using a big box store if you're not needing a service technician to install them. You do need to understand something about batteries so you're choosing the right ones and you're not exceeding the parameters of your battery charger. And I just want to again close this video with a reminder to use your personal protective equipment. The lead and the acid in batteries is nothing to be messing around with. You do need to have competence when dealing with these things. Thank you for this time together today. I really appreciate it. Bye for now.